Welcome back to Afternoon Live. It's a new children's book that teaches love and acceptance by exploring many of the diverse bird family structures that mirror our own. We welcome the author of Families of a Feather, a celebration of family diversity, Fern Wexler. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Congratulations on your first book.
Thank you.
I know it's overwhelming, but how does it feel to finally share with so many people?
It's kind of surreal because I sold it in 2021, so it's been in progress for a really long time, and for a long time it never existed physically.
Yeah.
And then when I finally got sent my one copy, I was like, oh, okay, but in my brain I'm like, oh, this is the only copy that exists. It's just what I got and what the illustrator got as an art proof, and that's it. And then we got like the big box from the publisher with like 20 books in it, and it suddenly became extremely real. And now people actually liked it and read it, because obviously I'm proud of it, but I never expected that it would have this much of a positive reception. I really appreciate it.
It's such a beautiful book, your words combined with the illustrations. I'm excited to share it with my own young kids who are burgeoning readers. What got you into birds in the first place?
I've always been really into animals. I have autism, so birding has been kind of like a fundamental building block of the way that I am. We have very specific interests as autistic people, and they kind of become a core facet of our personality. And that really started becoming more birds instead of just regular generic animals, I guess, because when I was like 6 or 7, I got a big giant atlas of birds of North America, and I brought it with me everywhere, and I memorized every single page, and I just kind of fell in love really hard with birds, and I never stopped falling in love. I try to learn something new about birds every day. I love them.
Well, it's endless, the possibilities, and what a great place right here in Portland to grow up. We've got such great community for that.
So lucky that I had a family that would take me outside, and then also that we just have so many green spaces right here, like Oaks Bottom, Forest Park, Smith and Bybee Lakes. All of those places I've been to more times than I can count, and we have such a wonderful birding community here too.
So tell me about focusing on bird families for the book. I know that was really intentional.
Yeah, I'm transgender and I'm bisexual, and like I said, I have a very lovely family. I love them very much, and I was always accepted by them. But I was also, like I said, I have autism. I was bullied very heavily as a kid. I never really turned to people as a method of acceptance. It didn't super matter to me whether I was accepted by people. It mattered more that I could see myself in the natural world.
Yeah.
So because I loved birds so much, I would just automatically turn to them. I devoured books like Biological Exuberance, which is a 1999 compendium of animal homosexuality studies. And being able to see yourself in wildlife is maybe not what most people look for, but it's what I look for. It's what a lot of my friends look for, just because this is a core part of who we are. And you can hear from a lot of people that you're natural and you're loved, but being able to see it in nature and to know that you are loved and accepted is an entirely different thing.
Well, and that message comes through in the book so beautifully with all of the different bird families that you weave together. Let's talk about a few. We won't go into the weeds too much, but tell me about, for example, like hummingbirds. What's special about hummingbird families?
Hummingbirds are, they're very spectacular. They only exist in North and South America. Nowhere else in the world has them. And in pretty much every species of hummingbird, it is exclusively the female that does the job of raising the babies. It's usually 2 at a time. Sometimes it's only 1. So here in the Pacific Northwest, we have Anna's and Rufous hummingbirds. The birds that are in the book are ruby-throated hummingbirds, which are in the Midwest and on the East Coast. And all of them have this same structure where they're highly territorial. The females and the males defend separate territory, and then the female, after mating is done, they basically never see each other again until next year.
Fascinating. Okay, what about black swans? That's super interesting.
I really love black swans. They're obviously not something that we have up here. They're in Oceania, but they are wonderful. They mate for life like all swan species do, and black swans in particular have a very high prevalence for forming pair bonds between 2 males. You see this in mute swans as well. The first photo-documented example of 2 male birds in a pair-bonded relationship was a male gray-lag goose and a male mute swan. But the most commonly cited statistic is that 1/4 of every pairing of black swans in Australia is between 2 males. And so they will build their own nest with no eggs in it, and they'll brood on it like it has eggs, or they'll mate with a female and then just incubate that nest and take over.
And kick the lady swan out?
Yeah, but she's usually fine with it.
Okay.
For some reason, she'll usually have, it's like an extramarital affair for her. She usually has a mate that she has her own clutch of eggs with as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, see, the possibilities are endless. Okay, a couple of more here. A lace and albatross, am I saying that right?
Yeah, lace and albatross, or mole in Hawaiian, they are incredible birds. They are the oldest known wild bird, who is at least 74 years old, is the lace and albatross, and 1/3 of the breeding population in Oahu is between 2 females. They do something very similar to black swans, where one of the 2 females will mate with a male who's just like gotta get his genetics out there, and then they'll raise the egg. And they are incredibly devoted parents. They also mate for life, but they only see each other for a very short amount of time during the year. Most of the time they are out at sea, they're over the open ocean, they don't see each other. There's a very short time span when they meet up again, and they do their courtship rituals. They only have eyes for each other, and it's really spectacular.
I think that could work for a lot of human couples, actually.
Exactly. I mean, that's basically like what happens when your husband goes on a work trip.
There you go.
Yeah.
You come back and you fall back in love again. Okay, I want to talk about your illustrator too, because the pictures are just so beautiful, and you guys worked together so well.
She's wonderful. Kelsey, she's also an Oregonian. She lives in Corvallis. She is one of the most talented artists I've ever seen in my life. She obviously did an amazing job with her art. She's also just a really fantastic person and was a really wonderful resource for me, because this is my first book. I kind of didn't really know what I was doing, and it was nice to have somebody who had already had a few books under their belt that I could go to and ask for help if I just didn't know what was going on. It was very nice.
It's quite a process. Well, and how has it been to be sharing the book in local storytime events? I saw you were at Powell's recently. That must have been so special as a Portland kid.
It was incredible. I would get lost in Powell's as a kid. I would just grab stacks of books and go sit in the corner and read, and my family would call over the intercom to ask where I was, because they didn't know what had happened to me. That was just absolutely incredible to be in this place where I have seen authors that I look up to and admire and to have it be me, and then to have all of those people there, some of which we knew. I think the entire city of Portland is somewhere in my mom's phone, so they just all showed up.
I love that.
There's just people from all different stages of my life, and all of these people who I'd never met before who came up to me afterward and complimented the book. And that was an event that Kelsey was also at, which was great, because it meant that she got to hear everybody give her well-deserved praise.
Okay, before we go, quickly, what's your favorite bird?
I love domestic pigeons.
Okay.
All of the pigeons that you see anywhere in North America, downtown, like the street rock pigeon, those are all domesticated birds. I absolutely adore them. They're one of the smartest birds in the world. They're our oldest domesticated bird. They're absolutely fantastic, and I'll take any opportunity to love them. I definitely think everybody should appreciate their local pigeons more than they do.
Oh my gosh, I just love talking with you. Your enthusiasm is so fun. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Congratulations again. Okay, we want to let everyone know that Fern has a few book events coming up, starting with a Storytime event tomorrow at noon. It's at Always Here Bookstore, located on North Williams. The book again is Families of a Feather, and we'll have more information, including all of Fern's upcoming local book events, on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.